Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Back into Red Zone Kid BUU. This time, out of the three major EZAs right now we've got on global, last but not least, it is time for EZA TEQ LR full power Jiren, who I have no doubt will be fine here. However, in about a week or two's time, potentially, there's an easy chance that they could move AGL. I say move, but could just drop AGL LR Jiren against, or not against, but during December. Just to kind of give us a little bit of breathing room. We could very well see him drop in December instead of the next couple weeks. Because that is going to be his best rotation. But I have no doubt he'll be completely fine here. Do we actually lose any links by swapping these two? We don't. We don't. And I've also actually pulled an extra dupe. I think from one of the Supreme Magnificent Battle banners on the guarantee ticket, I actually pulled my final copy I needed of Jiren. So there's also that. But how much defense do we have? 383k, 85k? 383k. We do get a guaranteed additional if we let Jiren take 3 attacks. And considering Jiren starts with 30% damage reduction for 1 turn, which again, love it when Dokkan decide to bolster out units for 1 turn just to kind of protect your HP. Jiren is another one of them. Just like EZA LR Golden Freezer in 17. He also has guard with that 30% damage reduction. So as I expected, he's taking double digits on those normals. He's also going to get our guaranteed additional very quickly because we've taken way more than 3 attacks already, which is why I left him in slot 1. We're already doing a 13.5 million attack stat with a guaranteed additional, and we brought up all that key as well because we took so many attacks. That means the guaranteed additional comes in. Not that we really need it right now, because again, we're stuck in this phase. I mean, we did do a ton of damage last time when we done the LR Golden Freezer in 17 video. So, I mean, maybe if we do a lot more, maybe we might actually manage to kill this phase. We got down to like 3 HP bars, and Jiren's doing a ton of damage and loads of crits right now. So we generally might actually do it. But yeah, that 30% damage reduction he starts with for 1 turn. Especially because you're going to have your guaranteed guard. I mean, it's not guaranteed, it's conditional as long as you have 40% HP or more. But again, as soon as the fight starts, you're going to have that guaranteed guard. Having guard with 30% damage reduction, especially because Jiren's a bit more of a slot 2 unit, it means early on, again, when you're having units that need to build up, whether that's through passive, whether that, just like himself, but through passive, same can be said with other units, or stacking units, you can really protect your HP early on. Especially with how much damage enemies are doing nowadays, especially just right out the gate. So again, big fan of that. Another unit that's got that, just like LR Golden Freezer in 17. And then because he's a slot 2 unit, and if you get very lucky like I did, I say lucky, there's tons of attacks throughout the entire rotation. It just depends where they're coming from. When it comes to Red Zone and Supreme Magnificent Battle, yeah, we'll leave AGL UI Goku in slot 3 because then he can build up a bit more extra dodge chance by the time he needs to dodge the super attack, which should basically almost be guaranteed dodge. So hopefully he does actually dodge the super attack. Every time I've done this so far, he's dodged. So hopefully he does that now. Then because he's more of a slot 2 unit, you're getting 100% attack and defense on 18 key. If he additionals, that's another 50% attack and defense. Especially if you get the guaranteed from taking 3 or more attacks in battle, that's a guaranteed extra 50% attack and defense. And then if the dupe system pops, if you do have dupes or skill orbs, that's another 50% attack and defense on top of the 30% damage reduction he starts with for that 1 turn on entry. And then the guard he has, as long as your HP is at 40% or more. So that first turn, if you can maintain that guard, which I mean is literally the first turn, there's no reason why you shouldn't a lot of the time, unless you get super unlucky with a super in slot 1 with either like the wrong unit for whatever reason, or a unit doesn't dodge or whatever. Then Jiren on that first turn is defensively very, very strong. And as I said, will definitely protect your HP bar while he needs to build up. Again, he needs to take 3 or more attacks in battle to get that guaranteed additional, which, as I said, with the type of attacks that come in Supreme Magnificent Battle and Red Zone, the amount, typically, unless you get very, well in this case, very unlucky with the attack patterns and they get put where Jiren isn't essentially, or barely any attacks are going to hit him in that turn, then you can have Jiren built up pretty much on turn 1, and then he's pretty much packed out for that first turn. And again, protects your HP, which is really what you want to do early on while a lot of units are at their weakest and the most vulnerable and they're building up. So, I mean, that's a very good start for Jiren. And UI is doing exactly what I want him to do, which is dodge. So hopefully he has no reason to not dodge the super attack that's coming this way, because he's just dodged 4 normals prior to that, which is extra dodge chance each time. So, of course, he's done that. I was going to say, if you don't, I'm generally going to launch my phone. I wouldn't have launched my phone across the room, but I would have felt like doing that. Right, so no more damage reduction. Just pure guard with 383k defense before, of course, we get all that extra attack and defense from 18 key with 100%, and then the additional, which of course is now guaranteed with 50%. And because we've already been hit so many times, we've already got his active skill ready, which we don't really need to use right now. I mean, it only gives him a 30% buff, and then all enemies lose 30%, so we don't really need to use it now. But it's nice that we've got it ready already, because again, the amount of attacks that came in like for Jiren in slot 1, like we literally took 5-6 attacks in that one slot. And that's another reason why I do like Jiren's EZA a lot. Not only is he just incredibly powerful, the 30% damage reduction that first turn combined with his guard makes him very good out the gate. Again, can protect him building up other units, protect your HP. But then also, yeah, we should be, okay, I was going to say we should be fine with that, but he literally dodged it. So yeah, we're definitely fine. But also, I kind of forgot what I was saying. I kind of forgot what I was saying. I lost track because I was so busy watching Jeets dodge the super like an absolute boss. Taking the normals very well. I mean, I'm not surprised again when you're getting 100% attack and defense on 18 key, and then the extra 50 from the guaranteed additional combined with guard. But in terms of taking attacks, I think that's what I was talking about. In terms of taking attacks, it's just so easy to do. Unless you get very unlucky with the attack buttons, it's just so easy to get that built up. Oh, that's what I was talking about. And the one thing I love about Jiren's passive is the fact that you can build him up so quickly. Yes, he's reliant on being hit, but he's got something from that, especially from turn 1. I said you have to get quite unfortunate to not get those 3 attacks kind of almost instantly. Or at least the majority. Again, it's only 3 attacks. Like, you, for the most part, you should probably or will most likely get that done in 1 turn. You can build Jiren up very quickly. And then the other thing he gets is, of course, the 11 key, which come with him being hit. Which you might not get the full... Actually, no, you will get the full 11 because he only needs to be hit 4 times. Which, again, you can pretty much do that in 1 turn. I love how quick and easy it is to build Jiren up. Just like Golden Frieza and 17, because the amount of built-in additionals they have is so quick and easy to build up their damage reduction in 1 turn, and also one part of their passive as well. The potential is there to, of course, build up the second part of their passive, where they need to perform super attacks. But I love how quickly you can build these units up, because you need them built up ASAP, again, with how strong enemies are from the very beginning. And Jiren's another one. Again, you're not really building them up too much, like, say, Golden Frieza and 17, but still... Getting him built him up that quickly, because having that additional is helpful. Getting that extra 50% attack and defense on top of potentially another additional of 50% attack and defense is handy. The extra defense goes a long way, especially when he's getting 100% on 18 key and guard. So, I mean, I love the pace at which you can build Jiren up. And one thing that he's actually really helping him in his passive right now is the attacks are effective against all types. So even though he does have type disadvantage against Kid Buu, and we've seen he can tank normals just as fine, is the fact that, I mean, number 1, he has no unarmed super attacks, so it means none of them are getting nullified, which is good. It means he's always doing damage, and he's always doing damage because attacks are effective against all types. So that type disadvantage he currently has against Kid Buu kind of doesn't really mean too much. If he was to be super attacked, then yeah, that would probably mean a bit. But yeah, I mean, he's already tanking fine. He's doing damage because, again, attacks are effective against all types. And Jiren, which kind of just steamrolling Kid Buu at this point. Like, Kid Buu's healing, but it's not really doing too much for him. We've actually dropped Kid Buu's HP bar down so quickly. It looks like we're not even going to get Tech LRUI's domain up, so we can't even have Jiren perform with that up. Where Jiren's going to be doing even more damage. I don't see us making it to next turn. Not with Jiren super attacking at least twice. UI Goku's going to be super attacking. There's crit in there as well. Oh, and also, don't want to forget about this. The disabling enemies action as long as your key is at 24, which isn't really too difficult to do once you've built up that 11 key, which again will take no time at all because it's literally 4 attacks. You're disabling the enemy's action, which I don't need to tell you, when this got implemented during the 7th anniversary, can be so handy. Yeah, you might not, you know, you might not get the big one, which is nullify the super attack, but just nullifying an extra attack that could be the super attack. Not only is there one less attack to deal with, which means there's less damage to take, especially if it could be risky damage, like you could generally take some damage that turn, then you could also potentially nullify the super attack, which you have to get quite unlucky to do it. Quite lucky to do it. Don't get me wrong, especially when you don't know when the super attack's coming from. But the point is, there's a chance you could, which means there's a ton of damage you miss out on, which means your run gets to carry on. And again, because it's so easy to get his key to 24, and this is before AGL-LR Jiren's even out, by the way, and he has his best linking partner, let alone doing more damage and having more defense next to him, he's already doing stuff like this. And getting him his key to 24 because of the 11 from his passive, it means that's pretty much guaranteed. But we pretty much just swept Kid BUU then. Having his attacks effect against all types, extremely handy, especially when he's critting on the majority of the super attacks he does. Yeah, Jiren just kind of swept through, especially with everyone else doing the amount of damage they do. Jiren just kind of swept through Kid BUU. And again, this is before AGL-LR full power Jiren's even out. And he's already doing stuff like this. He can only get stronger. Especially if we had his active skill out as well. And UI Goku's domain, you're looking at 20 to 30 mil attack stats. Next to AGL-LR Jiren, I think 30 to 40. Which is crazy. But yeah, he's done really, really well. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great rest of your day. And post.